Get to your safe spot now. Going in the focus here, here are the warnings that are in place. A tornado warning now issued for the Bremen area. So if you're in the Bremen area, if you're watching right now, if you're in Bremen, anywhere in the Bremen area, get to your safe spot right now. This tornado warning goes until 2:15 on Friday. So for the next 30 minutes or so, at least until then, we're here. But if you're in the Bremen area right now, northeastern Marshall County, a tornado warning has just been issued until 2:15. The actual severe thunderstorm warning that was issued has winds up to about 60 miles per hour. The rest of this storm, as we're going to be looking for areas of rotation, again, we're concerned about rotation and a tornado that could be on the ground. Right now, I believe radar indicated, but we're looking here at the velocity, and it would be right here. You can see where that rotation is likely to be happening right now, just towards the south and east. Northeast of Plymouth, this is around the Plymouth-Goshen Trail. Here's where the rotation, you can see 7th Road in here. Again, this is highly rural area, so there's not a lot of roads that are actually showing up. But you can see here, just within our road network, as we'll wait for some of these roads to start populating, here's 7th Road. So 7th Road and Jarrah Road. 7th Road and Jarrah Road in Marshall County. This is just southeast of the Bremen area. That's where we're looking at the most likely area of a tornado and a possible tornado on the ground. So again, this is something we're watching very closely. This is near the Bremen area, at least right now. A tornado warning has been issued. Here's the line of storms right now. Tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County. Severe line of thunderstorms. Meteorologist Erica Horvaty moving in here as well. Erica, check if this is radar confirmed or if it is actual visible tornado that we've seen on the ground. But all we know right now is tornado warning for northeast Marshall County. Strong storms about to move over South Bend. This is not necessarily severe weather for you, but a tornado warning for Marshall County, for northeast Marshall County. Bremen, the Bremen area in the line of this storm. This is towards the north and east of Plymouth. So the tornado threat is past Plymouth, but all of eastern Marshall County seeing a line of thunderstorms. Do you have an update on that, Erica?
I'm checking at it right now. It's radar indicated.
So radar indicated. We don't have an actual visible confirmation, but as we change over to the velocity, and I'll show you that here, as we change over to the velocity with this storm, you can see what is standing out right here, which is likely the area of rotation just towards the north and east of Plymouth. Not quite to the Bremen area just yet, but this is the area of rotation that has prompted that tornado warning right here near Plymouth-Goshen Trail, just towards the south and east of the Bremen area. Let me give you an update on the distance here. The distance from about the south side of Bremen, about 7 miles. So roughly 7 miles from the south side of Bremen. If you're on the south side of Bremen, an area of rotation, get to your safe spot now. If you're in northeastern Marshall County, the Lake of the Woods area, and Bremen, Rentown area, all south of Bremen, this is our concern. If you're in Napanee, be on standby right now. Same for the Wakarusa area. Area of rotation being pointed out on radar. This is a more intense return here of the wind. Let me get you an ID on this spot right here. And so what we're seeing, at least in this area, a return of velocity up to about 60 miles per hour, but it's standing out right here. Could be an area of rotation along this line of severe thunderstorms. So if you're just joining us right now, we're just before 2 o'clock. Line of severe thunderstorms and a tornado warning. Let me reset this. A tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County. This outlined area in red going up to the St. Joseph County, Elkhart, and Kosciusko County lines. If you're in the Bremen area right now, get to your safe spot now. The area of rotation near Plymouth-Goshen Trail. You can kind of see a bit of a notch in here. What happens often with lines of severe thunderstorms like this is they're kind of a bowing and bending line of storms, and you can get some areas of rotation along that line. We have a severe thunderstorm warning. We'll go out for our wider view. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that is now being expanded into Kosciusko County. Severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County That will go. You can see the line of lightning and the severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County. Here's the latest update here. That will go until 2:45. So the line of strong storms moving now into Kosciusko County. Erica, can you give me an update on what that warning is issued for and how strong the winds are? But until 2:45 for Kosciusko County. But a tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County in the Bremen area is our top concern, as we pointed out that area of rotation. Severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County until 2:45. So again, severe weather will continue across our area at least for the next hour, but it's along this line that's our top concern. If you're just tuning in, we've been on Facebook Live. Erica is updating that situation, or you're watching us now on ABC 57 News as a tornado warning was issued for northeastern Marshall County, including the Bremen area. This line of storms is continuing to move through, and that's our big concern, at least right now. We'll go in and we'll zoom in on this part of the line. If you're in South Bend and portions of Berrien County, I want to let you know that storms are about to happen. There's going to be some rain and some gusty wind, but this is not the severe portion of the line. If you're in St. Joseph County, right now, if you're in Elkhart County, Cass, and Berrien County, there are storms, but it is not the severe portion of the storm. This is the area we're most concerned with. Again, strong wind moving into portions of Kosciusko County, but it's this area right here near Bremen that we're watching very closely. I'll bring up the velocity once again. And again, you can see where that bullseye or where that area of concern is still as we go in for a closer scan. Let me remove this, and again, we'll go in for the closer scan right in through here. There's still kind of an area of broad rotation or increased velocity that would be our area of concern. Just towards the south and east of Bremen, right here in this area, you can see Plymouth Goshen Trail up to Indiana 106. So just south of 106, just south of Bremen, around 4th Road, around the 4th Road area in Marshall County near Bremen would be our area of concern for rotation here. I want to go out for a little wider view though as we back it out, and I want to look at the rest of that line that is still pretty strong and crossing the Marshall County line. So this is for just the severe thunderstorm warning as we go in for a closer scan here that's now moving into Kosciusko County. Right along the Kosciusko County line and Marshall County line between Etna Green and Mentone, the wind speed here is up to about 65 miles per hour. So again, we're still talking strong wind in here. The warning for officially 60, but again, winds could be a little higher than that between Mentone and Etna Green. Severe thunderstorm warning for this area between Etna Green and Mentone for winds up to 60 or a little bit more miles per hour. We can check in on our hail tracker as well. We'll take a look at the hail track in this area. And again, there is the possibility of hail with these storms as well. The history, likely up to about possibly penny or quarter size hail possible with some of these storms from the Bremen area south down into portions of Marshall County, if in the Akron area, towards Etna Green and eventually Warsaw and Mentone. That's our concern, at least right now. I want to reset this situation. We'll go back, and again, we're going to continue to track what is the severe weather update going on right now. So here's what's going on across the area right now. You can see the line of storms currently moving into St. Joseph County. That is not the severe line of storms. They are strong. There'll be some gusty wind, but at least at this moment, no warnings for Berrien County, no warnings for Cass, Elkhart, or St. Joseph County. The active warning right now is pretty much for eastern Marshall and all of Kosciusko or most of Kosciusko County. That's where our concern is. Here's the update on that warning information. Tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County for the Bremen area until 2:15. An area of rotation was spotted on the radar. That's why the warning was issued. Erica, have there been any visual reports so far?
No, just tornado possible.
So just tornado possible with this storm. Not saying that there's actually one on the ground, but the conditions are right, and the wind report from the radar, which is relatively close. If you're near the Bremen area, you need to get to your safe spot right now. Severe thunderstorm warning for winds up to 60 miles per hour until 2:45 from Rochester to Warsaw and Winona Lake. So most of Kosciusko County seeing the brunt of this line of the storm. We'll go in for our closer scan once again. Again, we'll flatten things out and we'll get on top of this storm as we zoom in closer. Here's the tornado warning. Box in red here is the tornado warning, and you can see it for the Bremen area, not including Napanee or Wakarusa, but if you're in the Napanee and Wakarusa area right now, you should be ready to take precaution. Line of storms in that bit of a notch in here approaching Bremen right now. If you're in Bremen, anywhere in the Bremen area in Marshall County, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Lowest portion of your home, the basement, interior bathroom, that's where I want you to get right now if you're in the Bremen area. That tornado warning is continuing, and here's what we're looking at right now. This area of rotation just on the southeast side of Bremen. This is what's standing out on the radar, and again, could be that possible tornado. Radar indicated, not confirmed by sight. But again, this would be our biggest area of concern. You can see it's around 3rd Road. Here's 4th Road and Fir. Filbert Road, Grape Road. This whole area kind of comes in together down between 5th Road. Between 4th and 5th Road, this is in Marshall County. So again, this is just on the south side. Latest radar update has now crossing Fir Road at 3rd Road is where, if there is a tornado on the ground, it would be somewhere in this area. 3rd Road, Elm Road, I'm leading this off. If you're in Marshall County, south of Bremen, I'm leading off these names of these roads. If you're in this area, critical that you get inside. If you're between Fir and Elm Road, around 3rd Road, you need to be in your safe spot. This is where that possible tornado is right now. If you're in Bremen, you have just moments to get to your safe spot right now as we watch this storm move into the south side of Bremen. So here's Bremen right here. We'll go out just a little bit wider, and here's where that possible rotation is. Eric, you see any other information coming in on chat, just yell it at, just let me know what's coming in right now. Possible area of rotation just to the west of 331 where it makes the bend around Bremen. South side of Bremen, this is approaching the high school, Bremen High School on the south side of Bremen. Not a big town, but the south side of Bremen. Again, this would be the area of concern right now. Get to your safe spot. If you know people in Bremen, if people are in the factory in Bremen, let them know they need to take their severe weather precautions right now. Possible tornado on the ground or tornadic conditions. This is radar indicated. We don't have a visual confirmation yet, but this is the south side of Bremen. This is where the area of rotation would be. Highlighting this area right here, again, the strongest velocity that we're seeing on the radar right through here. This is around Elm Road, Fir Road, down around 3rd Road right now, moving off towards the north and east at the moment. So it's moving in this direction, like this, moving in this direction towards the north and east, just likely going to hit the east side of Bremen if there's a tornado on the ground. Broad rotation or indication of strong velocity on the radar, up to about 60 to 70 miles per hour with these brighter green returns. But right now, this is all radar confirmed. There's a lot of rain with this as well. Let me reset this and I'll show you the actual radar picture. Actual radar picture is pretty intense. A lot of reds, a lot of purples on here. So we go out for the wider view. This is heavy rain. It may be hard to see the tornado, but right now that warning continues for all of northeastern Marshall County until 2:15. If you're in Bremen or anywhere in northeastern Marshall County, you need to be inside right now. Intense hail signature here as well. Likely very heavy rain. If there was a tornado, or if there still is a tornado on the ground, it would be hard to see to confirm this. We have the velocity telling us that there's the indication of tornado in this area, Bremen, towards the Plymouth-Goshen Trail area. This is now moving across Bremen. If you're in Wakarusa and Napanee, I want you guys to at least get inside. Wakarusa and Napanee, I want you guys to get inside and be prepared for severe weather action. Be prepared for your severe weather action in Wakarusa and Napanee. So again, that's our top concern, at least right now, as we look at this wider picture. Severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County. That's separate from the severe thunderstorm warning. From the severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County. Let's pan down towards the south here, starting to see a bowing line of storms here between Etna Green and Mentone. Warsaw, be aware, you need to get inside right now for the possibility of very strong storms as this line begins to bow out across the area. We're watching the intense storms get a little bit stronger. Want to look at velocity here because I think this is starting to strengthen when you see that bow. That bow in the line indicates some stronger wind. There's heavy rain that's pushing the colder air down towards the ground. So from Etna Green towards the Warsaw area, that's going to be our top concern, at least right now, as the storm continues. Storm continues. Going to walk off here. Erica, do you have any updates on any warnings or anything in chat? Check NWS chat is open. Okay, you got it open right there.
Yeah, nothing changing at the moment.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure I update our storm track timing. Here, the storm's moving at about 45 miles per hour, so pretty good clip. And so here would be the updated storm track and this path. So about 45 miles per hour as this continues towards the east or northeast for this area. So that's our concern. If you're in Warsaw, timing for you about 2:15 for this bowing line of thunderstorms that would be relatively strong. Strong gusty wind for the Warsaw area. We're still concerned about that tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County for the Bremen area. Let's reset our situation once again. Line of storms. I hear it raining right here at our ABC 57 News studios. No severe warnings for Berrien County, St. Joseph County, Elkhart County. Out at the fair, you know someone, it's going to get wet out there with some strong wind and thunder. A lot of lightning in here as well. I want to take a look at the number of lightning strikes just within this area right here. Good cluster, not the entire area, over 160 strikes in just the past 20 minutes. A lot of lightning. We want everybody who's outside, inside. If you're in Elkhart County, Cass County, even LaGrange County, you're going to be ready within the next hour or so. But right now, here's the update on the warning information. Tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County until 2:15. Severe thunderstorm warning until 2:45 for Kosciusko County. Update on that, is that warning still just for 60-mile-an-hour winds in Kosciusko County?
I believe so.
Erica, double checking. 60-mile-per-hour winds. We may start to get some more updates in there, Erica. Another tab on the iNews computer is open for chat too, in case you need to look over there as well. So again, just keeping you guys updated. But a tornado warning for northeastern Marshall County. As we reset our situation here, we'll go in for our closer scan. Here's the warning. It's shrunk down just a little bit. It's just for this corner, and it would be on this leading edge. We're not seeing the warning extended, which is a good thing. If it was going to be extended, it likely would be doing so by now for the Napanee and Wakarusa area. That does not appear to be the case. So let me reset this back to just the lightning signature for this area. Napanee, the rain is starting. Wakarusa, you're about 5 minutes or less from that storm reaching you. But as we go back to the velocity mode, we're not seeing a screaming signature of a tornado. Earlier, we were looking for that, but right now we're not seeing that signature. So we will stay on air here until at least 2:15 till that warning officially expires. However, I'm still concerned with this line of storms as I back it out here. This line of storms that's now pushing through Kosciusko County is starting to bow out and see a pretty good line of storms that is still strong to possibly severe. Not seeing the tornado signature on radar anymore. Even though that warning is still going until 2:15, it will likely expire. Still looking at this bowing line of storms that's about to get started in Warsaw. We'll stay on air at least until this start of this line of storms moves through the Warsaw area, just because I'm concerned about you guys as well in Kosciusko County. Warsaw, stand by for some strong wind here. Not seeing the tornadic signature across portions of our north. As we go back, we're at now 212 here. And you can still see there's still technically that tornado warning for extreme northeastern Marshall County. It was radar indicated, which means we don't have visual confirmation that a tornado actually hit the ground. There was a good signature on the radar of an intense area of wind. But now that seems to have subsided. But if you're in the Napanee and Wakarusa area, a strong storm is just moving through right now. Napanee, it started raining. Wakarusa within the next few minutes. And Warsaw, this line of storms is about to move into your area as well. So again, we are focused now primarily on the Warsaw area as this line of a Boeing line of storms, which indicates the strong wind, as I'll get the distance here. This is moving at a pretty good clip at about 45 miles per hour. The wind in this direction, and we're only about 10 miles away from that gust front reaching Warsaw. So just 10 miles away from the strongest wind moving into Warsaw. Etna Green and Mentone definitely seeing some intense return here as well, indicating at least some heavy rain and the possibility of hail. But the wind signature along this line is pretty intense. Areas I'd be concerned with, there's some little notches in here near Mentone. This is down Indiana 25. Those areas is where we can also get the possibility of other spin-ups. So there's something that we're going to continue to watch with this line, as we have the history of at least one tornado warning so far. As I reset this situation, and I'll update you on the distance as we watch this storm. Here's the storm track here. The storm track here for this area, moving at about 45 miles per hour. Here's the next 20 minutes. Warsaw by 2:16 when we expect that tornado warning to expire. But this is moving towards the east, roughly 40 to 45 miles per hour. The North Webster to the Syracuse area by 2:30. So North Webster to the Syracuse area by 2:30 with this Boeing line of storms. Tornado warning just expired. Confirm that for me, Erica. Tornado warning just expired. It looks like it just came off the map here, but likely. So that tornado warning has expired. No longer a tornado threat. No longer a tornado threat. Looks like we're getting a re-up of that severe thunderstorm warning as that box shrinks. Here's the updated situation. Strong line of thunderstorms moving across the area for Berrien, Cass County. No longer a tornado warning. No longer a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm warning for the Warsaw area. Updated still 60. What size hail? Penny size hail, 60 mile per hour wind. Thank you, Erica, for that update. Meteorologist Tom Coombs and meteorologist Erica Horvatine live in studio right now here at now 2:14. Tornado warning has expired. Still a severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County. We're monitoring this line of storms. We're also on Facebook Live trying to update you there as well with all the strong storms that are currently moving through the area. Going in for a closer scan, what's happening across St. Joseph County, what's happening across Elkhart County. We know the Elkhart County Fair going on right now. If you're out at the fair, you know someone out at the fair, tell them it's time to get inside. Tell them Tom says the storm is coming. It's not a severe line of storms, but you definitely don't want to be out in this. So here's a 30-minute storm track for Goshen. Goshen, 226. Goshen, 226. Not a severe line of storms. It's not technically severe, but we're still talking wind gusts 40 to 50 mile per hour. Heavy rain. Still hearing it here over our station. Intense wind and heavy rain. So if you are outside in Elkhart, you know people outside in Goshen towards Shipshewana, you have about 15 to 30 minutes to get from outside to inside. Our goal here is we just want people inside. No longer a tornado warning going on, but our concern is still along this line of storms and still a severe thunderstorm warning for the Warsaw area. Well, again, keep tabs on this as we look down towards the south. We'll remove some of this information here. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning as it's just now starting in the Warsaw area. If you're on the west side of Warsaw, this is just crossing Indiana 15, Leesburg, Warsaw. Leesburg to Warsaw. Erica?
We have a tornado watch for all of our eastern counties, including Elkhart County, Range, Kosciusko, and Cass and St. Joseph County.
All right, tornado watch just issued for our eastern counties. That continue to go on into portions of Ohio as well.
No.
All right, so tornado watch has been issued for our eastern counties right now. I'm going to update you on that situation. I have to walk off for just a second to upload that scene. Here's what's going on. One severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County that goes until 2:45 p.m. So one severe thunderstorm warning is currently active. Let me bring up our warnings, or watches and warnings scene. And so here are the active alerts. Here is that tornado watch as well, as we'll update you on that and what's being issued for our area currently. So currently a tornado watch for some of our counties towards the east as well. So that's, again, something that we're watching closely. Thank you, Erica, for that update. So tornado watch for our eastern counties. This includes Cass County, includes St. Joseph County in Michigan, Elkhart County, LaGrange County, and Kosciusko County as we watch the storm. So this is just the updated watch and warning information. One warning and then the watch for northeast Indiana, because we have the history of one tornado warning so far, and we're watching this line move through. So we'll rotate through this as well. One active warning for the severe thunderstorm. Everything in yellow is that watch. Here's the current situation. Here's the warned area. Here's the rest that's going on right now. And we'll go county by county right now and go in for that closer scan. Again, we're just concerned about this area towards our north and east, up towards the Berrien County, Cass County area, is where we're seeing the most intense part of this line of storms that is rather active right now. So again, across St. Joseph County, Elkhart County, it's active. The storm is happening right now. However, it is nothing severe, being more than 60-mile-per-hour wind. That's going to be our top concern. St. Joseph County, Elkhart County, a line of strong storms that's currently moving through. One severe thunderstorm warning for the Kosciusko County area. But as we go through and go county by county here, I'll break it down for you. You can see heavy rain for Benton Harbor, ending in Berrien Springs. Dowagiac, the heavy rain is about to start for you. Nothing severe. For Cassopolis, within the next 15 minutes or so, this is not necessarily severe weather, but it is definitely intense rainfall as we keep our eye on this area that's mostly in question. But you can see not much across most of Cass County. As we continue to pan down towards the south, heavy rain is beginning right now in the Elkhart area. It's over Wakarusa, and we're just moments away from it starting in Goshen. Elkhart County Fair, we need everybody inside. No active warning, but if you're out at the Elkhart County 4-H Fair, we need everyone at least under shelter right now. So make sure everybody is at least taking shelter in this area as we storm track this out towards the north and east. If you're in LaGrange, for the Goshen area, Goshen at 226, Shipshewana 246, LaGrange 255. This line of storms will be out of here, or likely will be out of here, by 3 o'clock. Severe threat ends by around 3 o'clock this afternoon. One severe thunderstorm warning that includes Warsaw for wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour. I want to take you through some of our tracker information. We'll take a look at our hail track, and there is some indication of small hail. As Erica mentioned, the latest on the warning, and we've not gotten a lot of reports out of this, is penny-size hail. Everything in purple here, likely penny to pea-size hail, moving across most of Kosciusko County and into southern Elkhart County. So the Napanee, possibly towards the New Paris area. Heavy rain and the possibility of small hail. Only one active severe warning right now. I'm going to switch it over to our velocity. We'll look at the velocity here, and you can see how quickly the winds are moving around or inside this storm. The warning is for 60-mile-per-hour wind that looks to be following 30 north side of Warsaw, between Warsaw and Leesburg. Storm may be weakening just a little bit. We'll stay on air here until about 2:30. 2:30, if there's nothing new, we'll return to programming. But I'm just letting everybody in the back know we'll stay on air to about 2:30 right now is going to be our plan, as the trend here as these storms continue to weaken just a little bit. If we see more information, we'll extend it. If we don't, we'll just go back to Facebook Live. But we'll say 2:30 will be our mark time to end this severe coverage if nothing new happens. Crossing Indiana 15 right now is where the strong line of wind, along with this associated line of storms, is moving through. As I reset this, the strongest storm on the radar, the strongest part of this storm, if you're watching this right now, we had a severe thunderstorm warning for Marshall and Fulton County going back to about 2:15 this afternoon. We then had a tornado warning that was issued because of radar indication for northeastern Marshall County. That went until 2:15, and that has now expired. So for about the past hour or so, since 1:30, we've been on Facebook Live. Since about 1:50, we've been interrupting programming because of life-threatening information, the tornado warning, and now still a severe thunderstorm warning from Leesburg towards the Warsaw area. If this keeps up on its current trend, we'll return to programming at 2:30. But you can see here, still a pretty good thunderstorm that's moving through the western part of Kosciusko County, Leesburg to Warsaw, a strong thunderstorm prompting a severe thunderstorm warning with winds estimated up to 60 miles per hour and the possibility of small hail. We'll go back and we'll reset our situation that's going on right now. You can see here at 2:30, not a lot going on. As we go out for our wider view, here's the update on the warning. One warning until 2:45. It is currently 2:23. The warning about half over or just over half over for Kosciusko County. And again, just now crossing Indiana 15. There are still strong storms moving through, and there's that tornado watch that has been issued. But you can see no active warnings for Cass County, for Elkhart, or St. Joseph County. New severe thunderstorm warning just issued, just as I mentioned that. New severe thunderstorm warning now issued for Elkhart County. If you are at the Elkhart County Fair, you need to let people know. If you have loved ones there, they need to get inside right now. Severe thunderstorm warning that includes the Goshen area. So again, this is a pretty intense storm. As soon as we get that information, Erica, let me know the skits on that. If this is up to 60 mile per hour or more, that's likely the history that we've seen so far with this storm. Severe thunderstorm warning now includes Elkhart, portions of Cass, and LaGrange counties.
70 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail.
Any reports, or just that's the estimates right now?
Radar indicated.
Radar indicated 70 mile per hour wind gusts. This is a serious severe thunderstorm, people. I need you in your safe spot if you are in Elkhart County. If you're in Elkhart County right now, I need you inside, away from windows. 70 mile per hour wind speed is a serious deal. That is what we preach with Project Tornado, that it doesn't matter if the wind's moving all in one direction or rotating. It's along this line. Now, its orientation to the radar isn't popping any significant colors here, but that's because of where that line is in orientation to this radar. But this is a serious line of severe thunderstorms with estimates up to 70 miles per hour with that wind speed. So again, we'll go in for this closer scan. If you're in here, in this area, still moving northeast at about 45, Erica, let me know about that. Goshen, about to move into Goshen, so this is about to move across the fairgrounds right now. Serious storm moving into New Paris. Now, if you're at the fairgrounds right now, we need you to take cover. We're getting reports from fair officials. As I've been saying, we need you inside. Take cover right now if you're out at the Elkhart County 4-H Fair. A severe thunderstorm warning with this line, as I'll time it out for you, as it is now moving in to the Goshen area with wind speed at wind speed up to 70. The track, it's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Goshen 228. It's currently 225. You have 3 minutes or less in the Goshen area. If you're at the fairgrounds, maybe 4 minutes, since that's on the southeast side of Goshen, not the west side of Goshen. But west side of Goshen, the storm moving in right now. Again, we have been told by fair officials, anybody outside, you gotta get inside and take cover. This is a serious storm. With wind estimates up to 70 miles per hour, we need you from outside to inside in your safe spot. You need to get to a storm shelter facility if possible. Something with sturdy walls. Get inside now if you're out in the Elkhart area. From Elkhart to Dunlap, Goshen, down to New Paris, stand by Millersburg and Middlebury for an intense line of storms. Severe thunderstorm warning for Elkhart County, expanded into portions of Cass and LaGrange County, but this is the area right now of top concern from Syracuse all the way to Elkhart. Stand by for Bristol and Middlebury, but it's about to start in Dunlap and the Goshen area. I'll be going for a little closer scan here. Again, this is our area of top concern as we drill down, and you'll see where this line is crossing right now. Here's the axis of Goshen. You can see Indiana 15. Here's Lincoln Avenue. So the fairgrounds, if I can highlight here, the fairgrounds out here. So the line of storms is about to move over the fair. Again, anybody who's outside, we want you inside right now. This is running right up along Indiana 119, intense rain there, but this is crossing Indiana 15. If you're on the east side of Indiana 15, if you live east of Goshen, you have as few as just a few minutes to about 15 minutes to the county line as this line of storms is moving through. It's about to move over the fairgrounds right here on the southeast side of Goshen. As we drill down again, get closer in here, you can see Keystone Drive. This is just on the southeast side of Goshen. Let me go up for a little wider view and I'll move again towards the fairground area. Right in here is where we're still seeing that line of storms just about to move through on the southeast side of Goshen. So here's Indiana 15 right here. Here's Kircher Road. And again, we're seeing that line of storms that's continuing to work its way through. Let me continue to update you on the current situation. Severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County until 2:45. Severe thunderstorm warning for Elkhart County until 3:15. That includes Elkhart, Goshen, portions of the Granger area, still a little bit of St. Joseph County, but it's mostly this leading line, Elkhart County. Portions of LaGrange and Cass County are included, but it's that leading edge of the line, at least right now, until 3:15, that's going to be our top concern. Life-threatening information, why we're still on air right now, and we'll be extending this, is because of the threat of 70-mile-per-hour wind with this storm. That is serious wind gusts. 50 to 60 is strong. 70 is what knocks down trees, and that is the life-threatening factor here when you get to 70-mile-per-hour winds. We've been alerted by fair officials. If you're out at the fairgrounds, stay in shelter. You got to get to some of the sturdy buildings right now. Heavy rain and that leading edge of that gust front is still very intense. 2:30 right now, the severe thunderstorm warning continues for Kosciusko County until 2:45. It's moving through Warsaw. It's moving through Winona Lake right now and will be clearing. So the most intense part of this line currently is over Elkhart County, over the Goshen area right now. All right, we have a live view from the fair, from the mass cam shot. Here's what's looking through right now. You can see darkening skies. You can see the trees really rustling here, and this is likely the leading edge. Our signal may be going down at times because, as you can see, possibly lightning strikes in the area. Also, that, again, that leading edge, if they're looking off towards the west, is that storm front approaching, and that's going to have some really strong wind. You can see the trees really rustling. They're even shaking our camera at this moment. Here we are just after 2:30. So let's drill down and we'll go in for a little bit closer. We can go back to that shot. Here's the two warnings. Our eastern half of the area under a tornado watch. We've already had the history of that so far. But I'll drill back down into that area as we watch. If we want to go back to that shot, we can take it here in just a second. But this is now moving over the fairgrounds right now. So that's what we are seeing on the camera right there, is that bit of a bow or that leading edge. So if we want to go resetting it, let's shots down at the moment, which would make sense. Again, when you've got this intense rain, that's going to knock down our cell signals that would give us that live shot. And there also may be power outages near the fairground as well. Let us know if you have information. You can post on our Facebook page. We're monitoring that as well. This is a give and go situation. You give us information, we relay that to let other people know about what's going on right now. But here we are at 2:31. Leading edge of this storm right now, moving through Goshen, moving across the fairgrounds as we saw, again, the wind whipping around our mast as we set up for what will be live coverage at the fair this evening. And this storm will move through well before 5 o'clock. It's moving through right now, and our severe threat will be over. But here's what we're tracking right now as this moves up towards the north and east. Not quite to LaGrange, but here's the timeline. Millersburg, you're moments away, 2:35 from a strong thunderstorm moving through your area. So Goshen to Millersburg to Middlebury and Shipshewana. Here's your timeline. Millersburg, estimated time 2:35. Millersburg 2:40, Shipshewana 2:48, Clear Springs Township 2:51, and Seabreeze by 2:53 as we push into portions of LaGrange County as well. But this is the path. This is moving rather quickly. This line of storm is moving northeast at about 45 miles per hour. So again, pretty serious situation right now. A lot of lightning going on across the area, intense rainfall. I'm going to step off, take a quick drink of water. Erica, any updated information from NWS chat?
No.
So we're still not getting, a lot of information as far as reports across the area, as far as damage. But again, those typically come in a little bit later. Right now, I don't need the reports as much as I just need people inside. We'll handle the reports that'll likely come after the storm passes. Power may be flickering. We've got Facebook Live up at the moment. We're also here on air on ABC 57 News. But Millersburg, Middlebury, Shipshewana, Clear Spring, and Seabrist, as this continues to move off towards the north and east, this is what we're tracking at the moment. Going out for a wider view, again, we'll continue to reset the situation for you right here. Here's the warning information and why we're still on air. One severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County going until 2:45, so less than 15 minutes until that expires and we're free of that warning. That's not really the reason we're going wall to wall still. We had earlier a tornado warning for portions of Marshall County. That expired. That was radar indicated. We're now here at 2:33. Severe thunderstorm warning for Elkhart County, including Goshen, has passed Granger and Mishawaka and moving off towards the north and east. This warning will likely get re-upped, but this is for up to 70-mile-per-hour wind. Until that part of the warning is still in place for 70-mile-per-hour winds, we are still on air, because once winds reach that category, that is life-threatening. That is what can really knock down trees. So if you are outside, we need you inside across the area. And again, that is our top concern, at least right now. So severe thunderstorm warning continues for Elkhart County, portions of Cass County and LaGrange County until 3:15. So we go in for a closer scan right here. You can see over the Goshen area right now, Goshen down towards Syracuse. Good line of storms that continues to move up towards the north and east. I can put a little motion on this. Look at the movement. This is just the past hour. This is moving pretty good towards the north and east. So again, watch the loop again. It has gone from Lakeville now towards the Goshen and Dunlap area and moving towards Bristol and Middlebury. Bristol and Middlebury right now, line of intense thunderstorms that's moving through. Let's drill down and we'll go down to street level once again. So you can see near Bristol, this has crossed Indiana 15. It's crossing 20 towards the north as this line is moving towards Bristol and the Middlebury area right now. County Road 22 pretty much moving right up this road is where we see the line of intense thunderstorms moving through the area, at least right now. So again, Bristol towards Middlebury, down towards County Road 32. Here's Indiana 4 west of Goshen. So this area is what would be indicating, or would be the area of the leading line of that strong wind that's currently raining very hard over the Fairgrounds, over all of Goshen, and most of Elkhart County. So as I go out for a little bit wider view here, you can see pretty much all of Elkhart County covered by this line of storms, but it's this leading edge right here where we'd have the strongest wind values. I can switch over to the velocity. It's not going to look very intense here, and that has to do because of the orientation to the radar, which is just directly towards the south. But you can still see a good highlight here of some red indicating wind that could be very strong along this line. Erica, you have new information for us?
We have a tornado warning for Kosciusko County, the southeast corner.
All right. New tornado warning for Kosciusko County, as Erica alerted me right on air. There's the new alert coming in right now. So that's the new tornado warning. New tornado warning for extreme southern Kosciusko County. So again, not a highly populated area, but again, we'll go in and we'll look down there. So that goes until the update on that warning goes until 3:15. Goes until 3:15. For the southern portion of Kosciusko County will be our chief concern there. So new tornado warning for this area near Silver Lake. So Silver Lake, you see a notch right in here. We talked about that earlier, as there's a bit of a notch in this line, not like we see with typical supercells, but these lines, they bow and they bend. And in these notches in here, wind can be going in multiple directions. And so it's this area right here towards the Sydney area. If you're in Sydney right now, I need to get to your safe spot right now. This is south of Warsaw. This tornado warning and this tornado or possible tornado would not impact the Warsaw area. It's moving off towards the east, towards Columbia City. Is this radar indicated, Erica? Do you have? So radar indicated as far as we know with this, but it's right here in this notch would be our big concern, at least right now. As we take a look at the radar data, looking at the velocity in here, you can still see a couple highlighted areas of intense wind values. So right along Indiana 14, this is just to the east of Silver Lake, between Silver Lake and the Sidney area. If you're in Sidney, if you're in extreme southern Kosciusko County, to the east of Silver Lake, get to your safe spot now. This is the area of intense wind and a possible radar indicated tornado. Problem right now is there's a lot of rain with these storms. It's hard for, even if we had a spotter out there, we'd be able to see anything. That's what's always dangerous about storms here in Michiana. We often have rain wrapped or rain covered tornadoes. So we see radar indication of intense wind or possible rotation. That's our concern. We don't have visual confirmation. We may have to worry about that after the fact. But if you are near Silver Lake, between Silver Lake and Sidney, in Kosciusko County, I need you to get to your safe spot right now. We'll go back to the lightning tracker and again the storm tracker as we take a look here right along the southern edge of Kosciusko County, the outline box here from Silver Lake towards the Sidney area, and it's right in here. As I'll highlight this for you, we'll draw back here on the map. Right in here is where I can see that notch in this line of storms. We have the Boeing line here, so you have wind going out in this direction fairly strongly, and you have wind to the north going fairly strong. In between, a little lull, for whatever reason that is, becomes a little bit of a notch, maybe a slowing of that line, and you start to get rotation, and so you can see the possibility of a tornado on that leading edge of this gust front right in here. Let me go in and take a look at, again, at the name of some of these roads. This is near the Sidney area, Packerson Road. I can't really read the name of this road, at least right here as it goes north-south. But again, you can see here, there's 100 east, south 100 east, and here's east 1000 south. So around the, get this right, south 100 east in Kosciusko County with the intersection of east 1000 south. That's extreme southeastern Kosciusko County near the Sidney area is our area of concern of a possible radar indicated tornado. Right here in this notch between these two Boeing areas of the severe thunderstorm, you have varying wind speeds in here. And so what's actually happening is you have intense wind right here, intense wind right here, you have slightly slower wind right here, and then you have more intense wind on this side, and that difference can create areas of rotation near along this Boeing line of thunderstorms. In general, our top concern would be straight line wind, but in this area and in where that notch is right now near the Sidney area, right through here, so moving into the Indiana 13 corridor, if you're near Sidney and live along Indiana 13, get to your safe spot now. Get to your safe spot now. It's right here in this watch area, in this notch right here near South Packerton Road, it looks like, South Packerton Road, East 600 South, along Indiana 13, near Sidney, near the Kinsey area. We need you to get to your safe spot now. It's right within this notch. That would be our top concern at the moment for a possible tornado on the ground. Want to go back, we want to keep resetting the situation of what's going on across the entire viewing area. There are severe thunderstorm warnings that are currently in effect, one tornado warning, and another severe thunderstorm warning. Tornado warning until 3:15 for southern Kosciusko County. Silver Lake towards the South Whitley area, also including Sidney. Right now it's over the Sidney area. The severe thunderstorm warning for Kosciusko County will be expiring soon within the next 3 minutes, as the rest of that line does not look to be as intense. We'll go on this warning. This warning for the Elkhart County, portions of LaGrange County and southern Cass County goes until 3:15. So for at least 30 more minutes, although this line looks to be weakening some as we're not seeing as intense of a wind return, at least at the moment. So Here's what we're watching up through here, and you can again see this now moving through the Bristol area at the moment. As I reset this, we'll get back on top here and we'll go down and we'll drill down first into this area. The worst of the storm has cleared the Fairgrounds in Goshen. The worst of the storm has cleared the Fairgrounds in Goshen. It's still raining there, but very intense just towards the northeast of Goshen. Bristol towards Shipshewana. Looks like we're getting an update on this warning. Eric, has it gone down to 60 or is it just 70 miles? Or is it still estimated up to 70 miles per hour is our top concern indicator for this storm. Shipshewana?
70-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail.
70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So this is still a very strong thunderstorm. This is still a life-threatening thunderstorm that I want people to treat as if it were a tornado warning. If you're from Bristol to Shipshewana up towards the Constantine area, even if you're included in Kosciusko. So Kosciusko right now in Bristol and really out in front of this, Bristol towards the LaGrange County line, between Middlebury and Shipshewana and towards the Grange. This is still a very strong thunderstorm that we have, again, that bowing line of wind in here. I'm going to switch over to the velocity product and we will likely start to see more of a red highlight here along this line. So you can see the brighter red returns not quite reaching the Shipshewana area right now, but that's indicating on our scale up towards that 70-mile-per-hour range. And due to the orientation of the radar with these storms, we're not seeing the full effect of the velocity. But this is an intense line of storms. The leading edge right now is crossing Indiana 13. It's currently moving into LaGrange County. If you're in eastern LaGrange County, strong wind is headed your way. Shipshewana, get inside, away from windows, take shelter. Get to your safe spot, away from windows. Right now, Shipshewana, wind possible up to 70 miles per hour. That is life-threatening, damaging wind that can down trees on your house. That is my top concern with this line of storms. Bristol towards Shipshewana, near Clear Springs, that area as well, and possibly towards the Grange, so the warning has not extended quite that far just yet. I'll keep on this. I'll pan down towards the south. So you can see strong wind moving into Ligonier, still strong wind around North Webster, south, crossing Indiana 13 as the severe thunderstorm warning likely to continue for Kosciusko County for at least the next minute or so, though could be expiring. And then here's where that tornado warning would be near the Sydney area. Broad rotation, this is good. We're not seeing a lot of intense rotation, but it's going to be right in here. Let me go back just for a second. Let's be right in here, crossing Indiana 13, near the Sydney area right now is where we have the intense wind return. So looking right through here, right in here, could be some areas of rotation, and then just out in here is an intense wind return. So this is very broad. This is radar indicator. Erica, you have an update.
The tornado warning has continued and it will go until 3:15 p.m.
Tornado warning continues until 3:15, which means they've shrunk the box just a little bit. I'll show you that information right now. So here's the latest update, and you can see the box. It includes Sydney, and then it extends out across the Kosciusko County line into Whitley County towards the Columbia City area. But it's right in here. If there were a tornado on the ground, it would likely be just north of Sydney. Be likely just north of the Sydney area, right through here. So let me circle that around. Right through here is where our big concern would be, just north of Sydney, for the possibility of a tornado on the ground in this notch. What happens with lines of thunderstorms, these squall lines that are intense? We talked about this just moments ago. Strong wind right through here. Strong wind right through here. And then maybe just a little bit slower wind in here. That difference in wind speed creates a notch. That difference in wind speed can create a little bit of rotation, and so it would be right here north of Sydney, east 600 south, south of there, between east 600 south and Sydney along Indiana 13 where the possible tornado on the ground would be. We'll go out a little bit wider, and you can see it's moving towards South Whitley, Indiana 5. The warning will be exiting our counties within the next 5 minutes. By 2:50, the tornado threat would be over for our Michiana counties. But again, still looking at this warning from Sydney area towards South Whitley. would be our area of concern. Even though there may technically still be a tornado warning, the tornado threat right now is on the Kosciusko County, Whitley County line towards South Whitley. So keep that in mind at the moment. It's over the Sydney area. It's right in that notch. So this is where the tornado threat is right now. It's not across the Warsaw area or mostly highly populated parts of Kosciusko County. Go up for the wider view. Everything in yellow is the tornado watch, 1 tornado warning, 1 severe thunderstorm warning. Kosciusko County, you are no longer under a severe thunderstorm warning, except for the extreme, very northern slice there. But as far as all intensive purposes, Kosciusko County, besides extreme southern portions of your area for the tornado warning, there are no active alerts for you. South Bend, back towards LaPorte County, Pulaski County, you're in the clear. This line of storms is quickly clearing the area, but that tornado warning still goes until 3:15. The threat still on the edge of southeastern Kosciusko County. Severe thunderstorm warning also until 3:15. This is headed towards Ligonier and it's currently over the Middlebury area. And as Erica indicated, this is still a dangerous storm with the latest warning update coming in at about 70 miles per hour. Good amount of lightning, also an indicator of how strong storms can be. I want to highlight this area right in here. We're just going to get a count of the number of lightning strikes. It's down to 86. Going back about 30 minutes ago, we did the same update here, and we had over 150 lightning strikes. Counting the number of lightning strikes is also another way that we can see, are these storms getting stronger or are they starting to get weaker? And for the most part, besides a good cluster of lightning strikes down towards the south, these storms do appear to be weakening. So here we are at about 2:48, heading towards 3 o'clock. These storms are starting to weaken some. They're not exactly as strong as what they were earlier, but we're still taking those precautions. These are still very strong thunderstorms that you need to get inside for. Updating you once again. Severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15. This includes Elkhart, eastern LaGrange County, Cass and portions of western LaGrange County and portions of the western part of St. Joseph County in Michigan until 3:15. Tornado warning for extreme southern Kosciusko County also until 3:15. But right now that threat is starting to approach at least the border of that area. Let's get back on top of the storms and we'll drill down to street level and we'll look at that notch in the southeast portion of Kosciusko County. We're still seeing it on the Kosciusko County side of things. The warning going just as far as Indiana 5, and it's now past Sydney. It's right on the county line here. So again, we are right on the edge of where that tornado threat would be, right around the bend here of 13 as it heads down south towards Sydney. Not a lot of roads in here. But again, if you're in extreme southern Kosciusko County near the Sydney area, this is east 650 south. Then this is the southern portion of 725 east. Again, this is highly rural area, but if you're in this area between south 650 east all the way over to south 725 east, the farther east you go, the numbers going up here, in Kosciusko County would be the threat. Just got the latest radar update, and it looks here that where the tornado threat would be is now outside of Kosciusko County. Now outside of Kosciusko County. So now if you're watching, we'll go over to the velocity data to show you this. If you're currently watching in Kosciusko County, and this will come with the latest update, we'll wait here, we'll see the velocity update here, and we'll see this area of strong wind likely move off towards the east. And so it's right in here. Let me redraw that. Right in here is where we're seeing what could be the radar indicated tornado. No official reports, still no official reports of any.
No.
And what typically happens with this, again, these have been rain wrapped. The storms were very intense, drove everyone inside. We'll start to get more damage reports likely in the hours after the storms push through, once it's safe for people to go outside. So it's good that people are heeding the warnings right now and being inside. But if you're watching right now in Kosciusko County, the warning is only for an extremely small area, just towards the northeast of Sydney, just north of South Whitley, and for the most warning has now exited Kosciusko County. So for the most part, it's still heavy rain. It's still an intense storm here in Kosciusko County as we bring back up the radar picture. But really the tornado threat where there would be much rotation appears to be coming to an end right now. But if you're in the Sydney area, we still want you in your safe spot. Again, we still want you inside if you're in this box underneath the severe thunderstorm warning. I go out a little bit wider. Rain's almost done in Warsaw and Winona Lake. It's still raining there, but the intense rain is now off towards your east. So you can see the ending of this, Rochester towards the Plymouth area. This line of storms is almost over, folks. We've been on air for over an hour so far, as we started almost an hour to the moment for the first tornado warning in northeastern Marshall County, and we've been on air since as we've been tracking storms that have gotten stronger or weaker, and then new warnings have been issued. We're staying on air. We've been on Facebook Live as well. Meteorologist Erica Horvatine joined me in studio as well, updating us there and keeping us updated on the information that we're getting from you guys. Good news is, as I continue to look at this line of storms, notice how it looks. The colors here, not seeing as much bright of red, not seeing as many lightning strikes in here. So all along this line that's kind of bowing in and out here, it's not really an indication to me or through the radar that this storm is getting stronger. This storm is getting weaker. We can continue on here to about 3 o'clock here. So I'll let people know in the back, if we don't see an intensification of these storms, we'll go till 3 o'clock and we'll reevaluate. Otherwise, we'll plan on returning to programming around 3 o'clock right now, given the information right now that these storms are still starting to weaken across the area. It appears at the moment the worst of this is over, but there are still some strong parts of this line that we're watching very closely. I want to look at our hail track feature. And we're not seeing as much here as far as the indication of hail either. There's some more hail indication for southern Kosciusko County along that line that moved through Silver Lake towards the Sydney area, but nowhere else are we seeing a big indication of hail. The number of lightning strikes is reducing. The hail report or the hail indication here is also reducing. So there you go, most of these storms are starting to weaken across the area. As we take a look at velocity, it's still the leading edge of this storm that's now moving into LaGrange County with the strongest wind gusts approaching and moving through right now the Shipshewana area. So the area indicated in red here, which is moving away from the radar towards the north and east, still pretty intense, but this line of storms has weakened some. Notice it's more of a broad area that's just slightly colored red versus earlier we saw a much brighter red on the leading edge. But the strongest wind has just moved through Shipshewana. There's no warning for LaGrange right now. The warning right now is just for western LaGrange County. Given the current radar returns, it's unlikely that this warning would be extended at the moment. So just kind of let you know, at least right now, unlikely this warning gets extended. As we look at this, you can see the warning does not include Elkhart. This is the boundary of the warning that shrinks as the worst part of the storm moves through. Still technically Goshen, but out at the Fairgrounds, we're just seeing rain. If we can get that shot up from the Fairgrounds again, if they've got that available, we can look out there. If not, again, there may be power issues out there as well. That could be a problem. But Ligonier, Shipshewana, this is still the leading edge where that storm has not moved into LaGrange just yet, but this has begun to slow up just a little bit. The worst part of the storm is coming to an end. Updating you right now, 2:55. We'll be on air for 5 more minutes. We'll take you to the top of the hour. If nothing changes, we'll return back to regularly scheduled programming. We'll wrap things up also on Facebook Live in a few moments after that, just to kind of reset the picture. If you've got any reports, send them to us. Facebook, email, Twitter. We'll be scanning those over the next couple of hours as we look for those damage reports across the area, and of course have more coverage coming up on ABC 57 News at 5, 5:30, and 6. But looking at the radar picture right now, 256, and most of the severe weather is coming to an end right now. Still technically that tornado warning for extreme southern Kosciusko County, but for the most part, we are not seeing anything but scattered showers after this. As we continue to update you on this situation, severe thunderstorm warning that includes Elkhart, portions of LaGrange, Cass, and St. Joseph County in Michigan until 3:15. That storm has pretty much weakened. I don't expect that to get extended. Still a tornado warning technically for Kosciusko County, but as we talked about, The worst part of that threat is pushed into portions of Whitley County towards the South Whitley area north of Huntington. And so not necessarily severe risk anymore for Kosciusko County. If you're in the Warsaw area, you're okay. We're just seeing heavy rain. So even though there's a warning still in effect for Kosciusko County, you're in the clear if you're in the Warsaw area. And we're going for this closer scan here. I'm not seeing anything in here, even that notch we were once looking for, just no indication, not much of an indication of that. So this rotation is probably more broad. And again, this threat has also been reduced for the southern portion of Kosciusko County. Move off this. Again, I'm not seeing in here. We once saw some intense areas, some intense returns on the radar. Not seeing that anywhere from Sydney towards the east, towards Columbia City. Good for folks in Columbia City, but it appears that that tornado threat also coming to an end there. So let's reset the situation. Again, going back to our wider view, here's what's currently going on. The areas in yellow indicate the tornado watch. This goes towards Fort Wayne. So now the Fort Wayne area and towards Angola, they'll still have the threat of a possible tornado. But again, no longer in there, just the tornado warning has expired.
Yep.
So as I said, tornado warning has expired early because we weren't seeing any more of a threat on the radar, at least right now. Here's the current situation we have going on. One severe thunderstorm warning that still goes until 3:15 technically, and they usually let those go their full course for Elkhart County, for LaGrange County, and for Cass County. No longer a tornado warning. We've been on air for over an hour. We had 2 tornado warnings. Both were radar indicated, meaning no one saw tornadoes hit the ground. We had a lot of rain with these storms as well. It'd be hard to see a tornado. They were all radar indicated. So we'll have to look and see if that damage shows up or not. Sometimes that can be difficult, and we'll likely get more damage reports over the next couple of hours. Almost done, almost to the top of the hour at 3 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for Elkhart County. Intense portion of the storm now exiting Kosciusko County. But the severe threat, at least at this time, is now over for Michiana. We'll, of course, have team coverage tonight coming up on ABC 57 News starting at 5. We're going to go back to Facebook Live. We'll return you back to regularly scheduled programming.